the controversy that trailed the death of Abba Kyari, the chief of staff to Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, the president of Nigeria, a lot is out there. You know, there is a lot of secrecy that surrounds the politicians in Nigeria, particularly the ones that are in the presidency. Just like how Yar'Adua passed on, he was brain dead, clinically dead, and they weren't coming up with the truth of it because they were looking for a way to reshuffle. But I don't know how long they were going to do that. According to the constitution, the vice president will have to take over. Were they trying to kill the vice president? I wouldn't know. So why keep the secret? Were they looking for opportunity to loot before they announce it to the country, to the Nigerians, or they think that there is something they can do to bring Yar'Adua back to life? The same happened with someone that is not a publicly elected official, and that is Abba Kyari. Abba Kyari was never elected by anybody aside being appointed by Major General Muhammadu Buhari. Of course, some said that Daura introduced. That is possible. People introduce people to get jobs anyway. And ever since he got in there, we don't know. Buhari must have told his family members, you see, I don't know why I'm just being pushed to get to this position, but probably we have something to do for ourselves. I have to do this and this for you people. So I want to be president. Anyway, he got to be president, but he's someone that cannot function mentally. His cognitive reasoning, his ability to manage is not just there. But what was sold to the people was integrity. Integrity. That is as a result of the 16 years of PDP. We found different ones among them, the ones that are ex-military dictator, or possibly we can even see dictator. And we found a supposedly democratic person that came in, but yet corruption. That is Goodluck Jonathan. Eventually, Nigerians bought this idea and they brought in this man called Buhari. And eventually, Buhari started living a life of retirement as the president, whilst someone called Abba Kyari that still has health issue too. They said he has asthma and diabetes. And he put his life on the line. He started working for Buhari, although things weren't working in Nigeria. So that's why I said working for Buhari. Things weren't working per se. He's the one that he started having issues with even some other officials in the government in Aso Rock as a result of the authority that he wields. So much power was given to him. Buhari does not even care. Anyway, controversy has trailed the death of Abba Kyari as controversial Nigerian investigative journalist Kemi Oluloyo has claimed that the late Abba Kyari, who until his demise was the chief of staff of Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, that he had already been cremated in Ikoyi. That is what she said. According to the journalist, the burial service held in Abuja was just an arranged plot, as the statement has already died and he has been cremated. Omayele Sowore also came up with this on Sahara Reporters platform, where he alleged that the man has been clinically declared dead. Sometimes, I think he said Thursday, last week Thursday, or something like that. So there are controversies on when he died or when he did not die. The point is this: it's very important. He wasn't elected. It is Buhari, that's Buhari's man. So if he died 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that's his business. The only problem is that people would expect that that position should be occupied. But then, what if the position is occupied by somebody else that they choose, that's not ready to work and is still going to do much more worse than this Abba Kyari? If it were the president, then maybe we will be concerned on this. So she went on to say that the burial services held today was just an arranged plot, as a statement had already died and he has been cremated. Wow, that is serious. Still hot. Well, that is just what it is. So on her Twitter page, she said, Nigerians, please stop sending me the same footage of a man removing hazmat suit outside a cemetery. I am a trained investigative journalist. Already told you, Mr. Kyari was flown to Lagos, died in Ikoyi, cremated. No infected body was moved to Abuja. He is from Borno. That's it. And she went back to say, correction, he is from Maiduguri's side. Dauda, his aid is from Daura. I am concerned if that was Dauda they buried. He infected most of the Daura cluster and was flown back to Abuja for quarantine. We never heard from him again. 11 people he had contact with died of the same flu symptoms, the same coronavirus, the same COVID-19. So the person that they buried is not it's not ABBA Kyari. Of course, who is going to open up the face? The person that was buried is one of ABBA Kyari's aide. That is what she said, not ABBA Kyari himself, because I was wondering, how would they have done this? Just bury ABBA Kyari as if it's nobody. How were they able to do this? How was this done? Then I'm kind of believing this, that it was buried somewhere else, while the rest of the well, inconsequential people that worked with him are the ones that that were buried just anyhow. And one of them is what we saw yesterday. So she said the federal government is yet to respond to this allegation that this has been reported for a very long time now, and you know, it's serious. It's serious. I don't know what you guys think about this new arrangement. I don't know what you think about it. No, I'm thinking that Kemi might be right. She reported earlier that the death of a top-ranking ß0Rock officer sometimes April 2nd, and by Islamic rules, they must have buried him as at that time. They couldn't hide it. They couldn't hide his body any longer, so it's not possible. So I don't know. It's not possible. So somehow they are just maneuvering and lying and coming up with bogus statements here and there. The truth of the matter is that ABBA Kyari must have died earlier, buried, and they decided to come up with the dead bodies of the people that are around him. So as she said, Daura's ABBA Kyari's cluster, the people that surrounded him, must have been infected. The driver will be infected. Just imagine, they share the same vehicle. He must have met with other people. I don't know if he met with his wife. That is the thing about this. His wife and children are somewhere else. And ABBA Kyari, when he arrived in Nigeria, he didn't go to meet his wife and children. He just went about doing the job. And the people that I came in contact with, the people that say assalamu alaikum and shook hands with him, the people that decide to discuss the next level, all of them that came in contact with him, as long as they touched any part of their body that has to do with their mouth, their eardrums, their eyes, their nose, they must be infected. They will be infected. If they touch their private part, they will be infected. But if it was just their palms, and maybe at that time they went to do their prayers and washed off their hands, maybe you might be lucky. And Buhari somehow did not come in contact with him. That is why at the moment we can say maybe Buhari is here, although according to Bazen Nabikan, he said the Jubril al-Sudani is the imposter, he escaped and all of that stuff. But the person that we've seen over time speaking to Nigerians looks like Buhari. If we are going to say it's not Buhari. So what I'm saying is that look-alike is not infected somehow, because that person did not meet with ABBA Kyari. So it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. Anyway, I don't know. This might trend for a while, for a period of time. ABBA Kyari is dead. Either he was the one buried there or not. And like I said, what we found there wasn't nice at all. They did not follow the NCDC protocol. I'm talking of the World Health Organization and the Ministry of Health protocol on how you go about burial. They didn't follow that at all. They just did whatever they liked. And I saw people embracing the body and holding the body in such a way. And I felt like, is this really the COVID-19 body or some other body? I even saw blood in the casket. And I'm like, what is this? Is this maybe an animal that was killed and they package it and acted like they are burying ABBA Kyari there, whereas it's just something else? And ABBA Kyari has been cremated and kept somewhere else. They just don't want to bring direction or attract, bring some people's attention that way, as if people are going to go there and dig for gold. We are talking of coronavirus body, but if that was ABBA Kyari's body, I'm telling you, according to the government, they claim that the people that were involved in the burial have all been isolated, and they are going to check their health status to see if they have the virus. It's a terrible thing. We saw a lot of things there. If those people aside that, they should be arrested. That's just it. So Kemi Oluloyo, she has brought out a hold. I think she has decided to show what she has very to express, rather, people are expecting proof of the cremation and the body and the rest of that. But like, I really do not care about that, because ABBA KYARI wasn't elected. Yes, he was running the government because the president that a lot of you out there, you know, supported to come in, because most people were aware of history, and a lot of people were tired of the corruption that PDP was just on about. So people embraced and brought him in. Anyway, that's just what it is for now. I don't know what you guys think about this new development, that the body buried that you saw on Saturday was never ABBA KYARI, but possibly the body of one of the aides to ABBA KYARI, or something else buried there, but it was buried somewhere else. Drop your comment in the section below.